Hey guys, and welcome back to the Real World Garage. We're here today with an old Evinrude pressure tank, and I've had this tank for a few years. I've got a few of the motors that these tanks actually hook to. I don't know if you're familiar with the pressure tanks, but they actually have two lines on them, one for fuel supply and one for air. And they would actually use a little bit of compression from the motor and actually push air back into the tank through your line right here, and it would pressurize and push the fuel back up the line back to the carburetor. Well, we kind of got an issue where I restored this tank, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and I have allowed it to sit with just a little bit of fuel in it, and it's starting to gum back up. So I got it out the other day, and I went to press the primer bulb right here, and it got stuck. It won't come back up. It's like the spring is stuck in it. So I'm going to take her apart. We're going to get into it and kind of see what's inside of it, show you all what's inside, and see if I can get it freed up. See how much gum and varnish is inside. I don't think it's as bad as it was when I first got it. So let me get the tripod set up, and I'll get y'all all in position and bring you along for the trip. All right, I guess we'll start. I've got some stainless steel polish and cleaner. We'll clean off some of this grime off the outside of the tank, because there's no sense introducing any more dirt or crud inside the tank when it's actually already in there. Stuff actually works pretty good. Smells like lemon. I imagine it's some kind of a citrus cleaner, because this stuff does a really good job and kind of leaves a protective film. Yeah, it's probably close enough for government work. I had it stripped, took it to a radiator shop. It's a good place to carry your old metal tanks. Most old school radiator shops can actually repair these. They'll take and boil them out like they do a radiator, and when you get it back, no paint left on it, clean metal all inside. And I took and primed it and painted it. When I first did it, man, I should have got some decals put on it. It looked just about like I see pictures of them restored and coming back from like they came out of the factory. Let's see what we got here. Let's start taking these screws out. Got 2, 4, 6, 8 screws to take out. Oh good, they're not seized, even though I haven't been sit there for quite a while. Yeah, pretty crusty looking though. Not a good sign. Let's keep going. The other 3 out. Evinrude was really big on slotted screws. I think that was kind of a thing back in the 40s and 50s. Everybody liked slotted screws. When they used Phillips head, you get better bite, but it just wasn't a thing back then. Alright, we're almost there. Almost home. Okay. A little cup to keep these together. Most of these parts are available. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man, that's horrible. Well, inside of the tank doesn't feel that bad, but oh, good grief. See? Oh, gross. This was all shiny and spotless. This is horrible. Oh. It had about a gallon, I would say, left in it of gasoline, and it doesn't smell the worst I've ever smelled of gasoline. As you see, that gasket, I had developed a small leak after I had fixed it a while back, and I went ahead and I hand formed that gasket to seal to the tank, and I need to make another one so I can have a dual gasket. This one, that, or I need to make it out of rubber, because this one was actually seeping a little bit. So, oh boy, that's not good for the home team. Let's see if we can get these screws out. The way this works is there's actually a plate below this, and you got two screws here that actually hold it in. I don't know if this screwdriver will fit. We'll see. That's not good. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. They don't want to come out. Oh, boy. Not good. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get you a shot down here. We'll look down inside this tank or not. I'll see what we can do. Get this raked away from me. Let's see if we can look down inside this tank. Let you see what's down in there. I need to use the light myself. Let's see. Kind of fuzzy. And you see there, that where the gasoline wasn't sitting, touching the tank, actually looks pretty decent. Let's see what's on this side. Actually looks decent. Alright, well, I went ahead and while I had a couple minutes there, I took and poured the residual fuel that was in the tank out and went ahead and dried it. See if we can get this gasket off of here without destroying it. It's mostly off, it's just stuck in a couple of places. But if I can get my pocket knife out, there we go. We can persuade it off of there without destroying it. Come on. If I do, I just have to go buy some more gasket material. Not that hard to make. Just didn't want to have to make it again if I didn't need to. Alright. Let's see if we can wipe the copious amounts of rust off. Fresh gas, or empty it and dry it. Good grief, this is ridiculous. It's the oxidizers they put in modern gas now, guys. That's the main thing. I don't know if these screws are going to come out or not. We'll find out. Ooh, thank you. Come on. It's got a good bit of rust in it. That one's not wanting to budge either. Thank you. I have to try to take this pickup off. It's kind of in my way. Wow. Yeehaw. San Antone. That one's not wanting to come off. Let's try something. Got a bunch of crap down in the groove. The head's half corroded on it. That's not good. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright, rummaged up the old vice grips. Let's see what we can come up with. The vice grips. See if that'll do us anything. Took it right off. Come on. I'm so tight I can't get them loose. Good grief. Okay. There it is. That gas running out of there. Ugh, look at that. We can see there now. That's just brown. Got a spring pushing me up here. Hold that. Forgot about that. It's been a few years since I took one of these apart. Okay, gently. Ooh, there went a spring. Not good. Okay, just set this to the side. Alright, there's a little check dude right there. There's my primer bulb. What? Put these screws back in this housing. Lay the spring down where I'll lose it. Alright, this piece right here, your sight glass, it's got a piece of cork, seals it around the top. Now, there's a rubber diaphragm on the other piece that attaches to this. Get the button out of there. Lay all these pieces down. Try to catch this little piece right there. There it is. Little check valve. disc. All the components inside actually look pretty decent. It just needs to be cleaned. The diaphragm may be shot. Look at that in a minute. We can take a little carburetor cleaner probably and clean this up. I think this will be fine. If the diaphragm doesn't have a hole in it or weak, it doesn't work. Okay, got a couple of springs. Do not look interchangeable, so we need to make sure we keep them straight. That spring and that primer button go together. Let's take a look at the diaphragm. Ew. That don't look good. That don't look good at all. There's another little seal right there. Washer. I may need to break out a diagram on this thing. It's been a bunch of years. It seemed like it's been that long, but I guess it has. That doesn't go there. I wonder if it goes on top of that. See how that lines up. Like that. Okay, all right. That's where that other spring goes. So, the wrong spring. Right. Small spring, washer, plug. Let me get my carburetor cleaner and wash this thing off. I'll clean it up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the pump handle and the primer all reassembled, and I tested it. I put it down, submerged it in some fresh gasoline, so the pump works. Got the diaphragm all put back together, so all that works. Got to clean up my float, possibly. May just go ahead and go back up to the hardware store and spend 50 cents and buy another piece of cork. But my biggest problem, as I showed you earlier, is the tank itself. At this point, the tank's got a pretty good bit of gum and varnish. I have a gallon of cleaning vinegar. You can buy it at most grocery stores. I think it's $2 a gallon. So I'm going to dump a gallon of vinegar in there and let it sit overnight. We'll see what it does. I have used vinegar to clean carburetors that were pretty trashy. I'll show you this too. This is pretty crazy. This is pretty bad. This is the pickup screen. Just a real fine mesh screen. I can't blow through it. The screen is varnished up. I sprayed carburetor cleaner down in it, but you can see still dripping out of it. And carburetor cleaner is not even touching this varnish. So I'm hoping that soaking it in some vinegar will break that stuff up. We'll see. We'll try it, and I'll get back with you and let you know how it did. Okay, here we are, day 2. We got some pretty good action on cleanup of this tube. I'll get a rag and wipe it down for you. There it is. Didn't even have to get up. Wow. I was warned about putting vinegar in. I was warned about putting aluminum in vinegar, and now I can see why. It cleaned this up very well. Get this wiped off really good here. As you can see, that compared to yesterday, mucho grande better. Cleaned up the brass. Don't know what it did inside the tank. I'm gonna have to take a look at that a little closer. I'm gonna take this over and see if I can actually squirt through it now and rinse this screen out really good. It's only about half submerged, and you can see this part right here was sticking up and it didn't get in the vinegar as good. So, but it cleaned it up. Good grief. Alright, hang on, I'll be right back. Let me see if I can clean this screen up. Okay, color me impressed. Also, remember yesterday I could not blow through this tube? I found out why. There's a check ball inside this tube. I don't know if you can hear that. Screen is now clear though. Got a friend riding by. But the screen is now clear, and I can actually pour. I took a little denatured alcohol and rinsed the screen off and repeatedly rinsed it off. It's down inside the screen. You can actually kind of see through the screen now, whereas before it was varnished over, and there was debris still inside the bowl portion on the inside. So I kept pouring denatured alcohol and tapped it on the ground, tapped it on the ground, tapped it on the ground, and I went and poured denatured alcohol in there, and one more time after tapping it on the ground, and that check ball broke free, and it would just stream gobs of denatured alcohol through the tube. So pleased with that. Now let me grab something and scrape on the inside of this tank a little bit and see what we got there. I'll use this because this is a little wider. It's got a nice little edge to it. Use this piece of scrap wood. Scrape and see what we got. Don't take long for vinegar to start acting on raw metal, because raw metal where it's been exposed to air and where the vinegar got on it, it's already rusty across this top. I'm gonna do something like that today. Just tip it up and see if it's done anything. rest of my tank to rust out because of it. Around here on this one end, there was a big goopy spot down here yesterday. Glasses keep falling off. It's working, but it's tedious. Maybe I need to get my 17-year-old out here. What do you think? I can see him now. Oh, Dad. Seriously, Dad? You want to ride in the boat? Now, I won't bore you with this long, drawn-out process. Let me see if I can come up with a better method here to do a little scraping on this thing, and I'll come back and show you what kind of progress we've made. Okay, spent about the last 20-30 minutes scrubbing inside with a stick. I dumped, I don't know if I told you or not, but I dumped all the vinegar out of the tank, and I went ahead and poured denatured alcohol down inside, thought process, that some of what was in this tank was gummed oil. And knowing that denatured alcohol is a pretty good degreaser, I was thinking that it might break up any oil residue that was in there that stuck. And I was right. The vinegar seems to have taken care of the rust. The denatured alcohol has done a really good job on removing any oil, what was gummy and felt like was oil. I've still got a couple of rusty spots in the tank. Up on this wall inside and kind of across the top where it turns, the vinegar, I haven't had the vinegar filled to about here inside the tank. So, but I'll bring the camera over, and there are still some dark spots in here, but that's just stained into the metal. It's not actually scale rust like it was. Get the camera and stick you down inside. Sorry about that. Let me throw my hand over your face. Alright, let's take a peek down inside here. Let's see. Whoa, there we go. My face in the reflecting pool. You see over there what I was talking about with the rust. Still kind of up on that upper wall. But that, looking straight at the bottom, is a ton better. And looking down at the bottom, you can see that it's stained. You can see that it is stained, but that it is metal again, which was the main objective. Gotta do something about this edge. See how rusty that top is? I'll have to shine that up. And I may go and buy a roll of cork. Go up to the hardware store and get a roll of thick cork and make a new gasket. Got to looking when I was messing with this tank. I don't know if you see it now or not, looking across the front edge of it. But the tank edge is not perfectly flat. And thinking that may have been where, when I was running it, you would see leaking around the top, right out to the outside edge. It would just seep. You'd see bubbles when the motor was running, putting pressure to the tank. Not bad. It wasn't like it was pushing fuel out. It just was bubbling. Just little bitty burps of. It was fuel, but it wasn't like it wasn't running down the tank. I didn't feel it was a fire hazard. You see that rag? That rag started out like that. And I took that rag when it had the denatured alcohol and rubbed it all inside the tank. And now it is needs to be laid out, allowed to dry, and crawl to the disposal bin. Okay, well that's the wrap on day 2. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the tank and turn the tank on end. And I'm going to fill it with the vinegar up to here and let it sit where that really rusty spot is down there. Try to get you an angle. You can see it kind of down in there. Doesn't want to. There we go. I'll set it so that the vinegar is concentrated on that area, and then I'll flip it, and we'll see what happens. Till next time.